prepared for this. A word of warning first. I'm going to suggest in a while that everyone takes their shoes off in order to feel what's going on. Don't have to, but it's much better if you do. Okay? Now when that happens, those of you who aren't used to having your heels on the ground because you wear shoes with a raised heel, if you've had done that for decades, then like even from school shoes up, then your Achilles tendon, your calf muscle are likely to be, will be shorter, and that has to stretch. And it'll stretch a little bit tonight, and you're going to get sore calf muscles. Okay, just to let you know. But that's why you get sore calf muscles. If you're getting things right, you're going to get sore calf muscles because you'll be using them. Okay, right. So the basic story is I work on efficient running. That will give you a lot more speed for most people. It's not everything, because you do need, like driving a car, you know, you could drive efficiently and you won't get there very quickly. You've got to put the foot down and use some juice to get there. So you'll get a good base speed, with efficiency. Then you do actually have to add on a little bit. I've found that myself. I'm having to push a little bit now, which I wasn't doing in the last year or so, to get that extra speed. Anyway, so the basic story of inefficiency in running is, and I won't talk for too long, but I want you to understand what we're doing. If you want to move across the ground, the distance you travel is the number of steps multiplied by the length of the steps. Yep? Okay, yeah, okay, fine. The difficulty is if you have a walking action, this is the problem, there's two ways of getting over ground. One is to have a walking action like so. That's fine when you're walking, the foot's sort of coming underneath you and supporting you. But if you use that action for running, the faster you go, the more force you have against you, because you're throwing your foot in front of you and it's not going to come back. Okay, when you take off, if you move your leg forwards, it's going to stay there. So when you land, it's going to be in front of you. And that's where all the injuries happen. You're going to have to absorb that. So you get people down here like that. And then you're going to have to push hard to replace the speed that you've just lost. Yeah? So in efficient running, you're not losing much speed. You're carrying your speed forward because you're not braking very much. Okay? So there's two ways of getting your stride length. One is the bad way. The other way is to leave the ground and allow your existing speed to carry you forward. So you get your long stride length depending on how fast you're going and how high you get off the ground. Now you might say, well, getting off the ground is hard work. Well, it is if you do that. But if you manage to land in a fairly upright position, then you actually get a rebound off the ground. And they've measured at Harvard, apparently you can get about 50% recoil effect. So you're not having to push off the ground. You're just landing in the right position and you're getting an automatic lift off the ground, which gives you your stride length. And that's why good runners look smooth and easy, because they're not working hard. They're just making sure they land finish their landing in a good position, so that their spine is basically neutral and their glutes and their calves and everything down the back line of the body is working, as opposed to the front line of the body here. Okay, so that's what we've done in getting people to run well, is we start off everybody landing in a near vertical position. You cannot land your foot underneath you if you're running, because you'd fall over. It has to touch the ground in front of you. So there's a bit of a deception there. Okay, but the main pressure is downwards. All right. So the foot does touch the ground in front, but there's very little pressure. You see people doing this along the ground because they see a photograph of a runner going at 240 a K or something, and their foot's way out here, but they're not actually pressing on it. They're not pressing down much until they get to here. Okay, so it's an illusion. So you see somebody doing that, they'll send them for help. Okay, so what I intend to do tonight is to get you first of all stationary and bouncing up and down. I mean, it's artificial, it's not what you do when you're running, but it's getting you in the right position, and then I'm going to go take you through a starting off routine that will self-educate you to start off in good form. Okay, so that's the first thing we do, and then after that we'll actually get you running, and we've got a whole load of about 5, 6 or 7 different little tricks, cues, exercises, or whatever you call them, while you're on the run, to self-correct. And all you're trying to do all the time, the only thing you're trying to do, is to get a good solid landing. And just one more thing, the landings will be firm when you're stationary. But as you go faster, they get smoother and smoother. The opposite to if you're walking forwards. As you go faster, they get harder and harder. Okay? So don't be worried that the landings are initially quite hard. It's because you're stationary. Okay? So those who are going to take the shoes off, take the shoes off. And I'll get you just for 5 or 6 bounces. Just bounce up and down. I'm not going to show you because I know you're going to do something wrong. Okay, just